Hi, you guys. So this is actually mine and TV's project that we were assigned for Module 2. It's actually over cultural responsive teaching and between, like I said, our members are just between me and TV. So what is CRT? CRT is actually an approach that uses students' cultural identities and living experiences as teaching tools in the classroom. The concept arose when experts noticed teachers in public schools have devalued the potential for academic achievement among kids of different ethnicities, establishing low expectations for them, viewing cultural differences as sort of a hurdle of to learning rather than benefits or as a tool for them to use. Culture responsive teaching is based on the framework of cultural relevant pedagogy, which was proposed in the 1990s by academic Gloria Lanson Billings. So what's CRT based on? Like I was saying, CRT is based on um, what the theorist Gloria Lansing Billings and her notion came from the idea that she was fed up with the widely accepted belief that African American children were inferior and deviant uh, in regards to other students in their classrooms. That led her to go ahead and devote most of her time to observing African American students, their families, communities, in order to immerse herself more in the culture and just see where this negative notion or negative stigma of African American students came from. Furthermore, the term was further coined by researcher Geneva Gay in 2000, where she states when academic knowledge and skills are situated within living experiences in frames of reference for students, they are more personally meaningful, have higher interest appeal, and are learned more easily and thoroughly. So, what are the benefits of CRT? The concept of culture and life experiences that impact how students perceive and make sense of the world uh, or themselves are essential components of who they are as learners, as students, and just all around as children. Many kids' home and community cultures are not always reflected at school, or and if they are represented in a more stereotypical way. Therefore, CRT seeks to empower students to become lifelong learners, critical thinkers, and help students with different backgrounds view themselves and their communities as belonging in classrooms and other academic venues, leading to higher engagement and overall achievement. According to the study, cultural responsive teaching and comparable methods to teaching enhance students' motivation, interest in the subject, and view of themselves as capable students, among other benefits.
There are three components of CRT. The first component we're looking at is student learning, which is prioritizing student intellectual growth, including the ability to problem solve. The second component is cultural competence, which means creating an environment where students affirm and appreciate their culture of origin while also developing fluency in at least one of other culture. And critical consciousness. Teachers, students should know how to identify, analyze, and solve real life problems, especially those that result in societal inequalities against marginalized groups. Um, Ekid and I also found a videos on YouTube that was talking about translanguaging, and we think it would be really interesting to include in our presentation. Translanguaging, according to the video, is a practice that encourages students and motivate them to realize their full potential as English speakers and learners. So why is it important? Why there's a connection between CRT and translanguaging? Well, in translanguaging, the teachers in the classroom encourage their students to use their native language to incorporate their native language into learning English. So how can we apply the same concept to K-12 education? First, we have label of objects, which teacher having multiple translation on various classroom objects. For example, a chair in English could mean la mesa in Spanish and a bang in Vietnamese. This would allow English learner to form the connection as well as practice pronouncing and spelling different words. Books and multimedia resources can also help K-12 students in learning English. For say, teachers can stock up their classroom with a diverse assortment of cultural resources so that student can build upon their native language. For instance, having books that provide the translation between English and another language promote reading among younger children as well as building confidence to their future reading. Collaborative assignment. When assigning group assignments, teacher must ensure that students are able to properly communicate with one another. Being able to appropriately communicate promotes discussions and foster a great learning environment for children. Differentiate instructions rather than expect students to adjust to their curriculum. Teachers should adjust their instruction to meet the goal of ELL learner. Teachers should create a translating space with students which allow them to use their native language and experience the success in the classroom. In addition, educators should take the initiative to learn about their students' culture, language, and all-around understanding of the world so that they can provide the best opportunity to their students. Furthermore, according to Brittany Aronson, an associate professor of educational leadership at Miami University in Norfolk, Ohio, and a co-author of the first study we included, when teachers make direct connection between classroom lesson and students' experience outside of school, students saw greater value in academic content as it applied to the real world. This type of activity assists students in seeing themselves as knowledge creator and researcher. Arasin also states that the theory and practice of culturally relevant education, a synthesis of research across content area, review of educational research. Culturally responsive teachers should have a classroom full of books which characterize character that an image that reflect a wide range of ages, gender, ethnicities, and other sort of diversity. They share the accomplishment and knowledge of people from many ethnic groups and in every views. While addressing historical and present events, they offer many views, particularly those from disadvantaged groups that are frequently left out of the narrative. They also urge students to find connection to academic subject by drawing on existing knowledge and cultural experience. So why do we really need to change? Why do we really need to apply CTR to the classroom? Because there's a 2016 synthesis of decades of research on culturally responsive teaching and related framework discovering that engaging in culturally affirming practices across subjects such as math, science, language, English resulted in increased student understanding and engagement with academic skill and concept.
So thank you guys for listening. I hope we were able to go ahead and teach you a little something over our CTR project. And thank you. These are our citations we use for our project. And good luck to you guys all the rest of the semester.